squares. And again, if you can't find it, don't worry. We just recommend this as the best viewing experience. You'll still be able to participate just fine. Feel free to get comfy and move around, turn your camera off, whatever is most comfortable to you. You are also encouraged to engage and comment throughout in the chat or use the little reaction button. Yeah, just feel free to give feedback or show support for folks. And again, if you have tech questions or issues, please feel free to put them in the chat. And our lovely HECUA folks will respond to you. And then if you are a student considering a HECUA program, feel free to connect with campus representative Liza in the chat, who's here and would love to answer any questions that y'all may have. Okay, so before we get going, we're going to do a quick roll call to see who is all here. We have a lot of folks on today's call, so if you want to see everyone, you should be able to scroll through the participants with the blue arrow buttons on the sides of your screen. Okay, so first, let's see a wave from all the current students who are here. All right, and then how about friends or family of our students? Okay. And then community partners or internship supervisors. And consortium camps partners. And then can we hear from HECUA staff and faculty? And then HECUA board members. And then everyone else who wasn't mentioned previously. Awesome. Thanks so much to all of you for being here. Now I'll invite you to switch back to speaker view if it's easy to do so, and let's get started. This semester, Art for Social Change practiced bringing art to many of the everyday needs and rituals of class and life experience. They made making and writing land acknowledgements an art assignment. Now I want to invite Art for Social Change student Morgan Greathouse to offer a land acknowledgement.
Hi, I'm Morgan. As I said in the chat, my pronouns are they, them, and she, her. I'm obviously with Art for Social Change. So with this land acknowledgement, coming from my perspective, I couldn't acknowledge the land without also acknowledging the elements, since I am a pagan. So throughout this land acknowledgement, we will be using the cardinal directions. And if you don't know what those are, you can just use your computer as your symbolic north, and then turning 90 degrees to your right every time we go to a new section. Okay. We bow to the north, to the earth, and reach down to feel the floor or ground if that is accessible to you. Taking note of the texture of the carpet, floor, or earth if you happen to be outside. This earth, this historic land and future land of the Dakota and Ojibwe people, Minnesota Makoche, that nourishes us, and provides food and stability. And take time if you're standing up, if your knees are bad. We bow to the east, the air, and slowly reach our hands up to the sky. This air that fills our lungs, this air that carries dreams and prayers to the gods in the form of sacred smoke. We thank the air for the life it makes possible and the freedom it teaches us. We bow to the south, the element of fire, and I invite you to take up a gesture, which for you represents fire. Fire, when uncontrolled, is deadly, damaging. We've seen this on the West Coast and Australia this past year, or I guess in 2019 now. I wrote this in 2020. Or no, I did not. I'm sorry. But controlled, as the Yurok, Karok, and Hupa peoples of Northern California do, fire brings life and maintains the flora. We thank fire for the warmth it provides and the passion it inspires. And lastly, we bow to the west, to the water, which, depending on where you are in Minneapolis, you may be bowing to the HECUA, the Mississippi River. Water is life, is ishkebaha. We need it just as much as we need air. And so we must protect it, as our siblings in the north are doing every day in Palisade. We thank the water for its persistence and the flexibility it teaches us. With harm to none, and love and compassion for all, blessed be.
Thank you so much, Morgan. Let's show them some love in the chat. Next, we have a video from HECUA's interim executive director, Ariella Tilson, who will offer her own welcome. There's still no sound, I think.
All right, give me 1 second to try something else. Welcome everyone, near and far, to HECUA's Spring 2021 Community Gathering. I'm Ariella Tilson, and I'm HECUA's Interim Executive Director. I'd like to give a very special welcome to all the students we get to hear from today. We are so excited to learn from you. We recognize that this past academic year has been especially challenging due to the pandemic and to the murders of George Floyd, Dante Wright, Breonna Taylor, and so many other lives, and the ensuing uprisings that these horrible deaths inflamed. Over 50 years ago, HECUA was born out of the fires of the civil unrest from the late 1960s. And here we are again, in the fire next time, as James Baldwin so aptly foresaw. And here you are, each of you tending to a spark that was burning deep in your hearts and souls for a different learning experience, one where you could grow into the social justice leaders and warriors our world so hungers for. You inspire us. From the student blogs to the Instagram takeovers to the many stories our HECUA faculty shared with us, every day you remind us why HECUA exists and why HECUA is needed. As you go forward from today, please stay in touch with us. We love to hear from our alumni. We love to hear your stories, how you continue to co-create the whole, just, equitable world we all know is possible. Huge thanks to our faculty and community partners for fully living into your love of learning and your creativity so that co-learning could take root and flourish, even as the ground shifted during these unsettling times. Big shout outs to Rachel Savannah Moynihan, Andy Cheney, Anna Jetta Detweiler for pulling together this community gathering. And an extra special thank you to Maya Aldridge for emceeing. And for every one of you, thank you for participating today in this gathering. And now let's hear from our extraordinary students.
Thank you again, Ariella. As you said, now it's time for, yeah, Liza. As Ariella said, now it's time for the moment y'all have been waiting for, presentations from this semester's cohorts. Today we will hear from environmental justice, art for social change, inequality in America, and finally making media making change, in that order. First, we will have the environmental justice cohort to kick things off. So here's the cohort and the many orgs with whom they have interned, which I think will be on this slide. Awesome. Okay, so now the program director, Michelle Garvey, will share the EJ cohort's presentation.
Thank you, Maya. And Rachel, I just need host capabilities. Yay, thank you. Environmental justice, place, power, regeneration is an interdisciplinary, place-based immersive program comprised of over 50 community faculty, myself, Dr. Michelle Garvey, and the following brilliant students: Mackenzie Beckman, Rachel De Sabrino, Evelyn Howdiggy, Claire Mazak, Rose Prince, Eliza Scholl, Claire Stocker, and Claudina Williams. We put together a video and photo reel narrated by students who provide environmental justice reel narrated by students who provide some highlights of the site visits encountered all semester. Interspersed between these photos are some sights and sounds of Lily Springs Farm, a regenerative agriculture community where we are spending this final week of the program. Please enjoy. In our climate and environmental justice course, we explored sites that connect our scholarship to the landscapes that hold the theories, histories, and stories of the movement. We visited the Roof Depot, a major site of contestation between the city and East Phillips neighborhood that had me wonder, when a community comes together to say, this is what we want, what does it take to get the city to make space for that vision to occur? At the Watergate Marina site, we explored the conflict that exists at Pedote, a sacred indigenous site, in preserving the violent history of Fort Snelling. We as a class met together to have lunch at Trio, which is a plant-based soul food. Food is an essential aspect of life, and at Trio, it has played an essential part of bringing people together and maintaining momentum. We spent a day at the Women's Environmental Institute touring the farm, helping out prepare HUPAS and learning from Karen Clark about environmental injustice in the Phillips community. We were also led by Jackie Zita and Kayla Pridmore through the farm.
Olivia Levins-Holden and Nell Pierce led us through the heart of South Minneapolis to see murals representing the struggle, power, and love of communities.
Our Field Methods course focuses on decolonizing processes of learning and experimenting with interdisciplinary methods that bring us back into body, place, and community so knowledge can be co-created and shared toward liberatory ends. We started our semester at the sacred site of Bedote, where we decolonized our understanding of the Dakota War and listened to stories from Ramona Keto Stately. This was a really powerful moment for me and was the first of many times throughout the semester that my understanding of the world has been completely flipped upside down. We met Sheila Williams Ridge at the University of Minnesota's Lab School, which is a space for play and learning where kids are entirely outdoors. We were reminded of the importance of play as a method of learning and how joyfully exploring curiosities is a powerful way to understand our surroundings. We met with Hope Flanagan, a Seneca educator and storyteller who talked about plants as medicines. One thing she said that stuck with me is that wild sunflowers are really good bioremediators. They break down radioactive toxins.
Maria Westerly gave me the tool to re-envision a familiar place in a new way and made me realize that even in the city where you may not think, there's so much to eat and learn from plants.
We spent a day out on the Mississippi River with Joe Underhill of the Augsburg River semester, exploring the interconnectedness of water, specifically at the Mississippi River, and in the region of the Prairie Island Indian community and the neighboring nuclear facility located right next door.
We were able to bike the North Side Environmental Justice Tour put on by Juxtaposition Arts. One thing that stuck out to me was the importance of learning about environmental justice sites in place.
Oh my, that was so funny. Hi. Oh.
The Socio-Ecological Systems course is all about change making. We explore 12 different interventions into systems of injustice arising from the environmental justice movement and analyze them for their efficacy. In February, we learned about Line 3 by joining water protectors Sharon Day, Tanya Abed, and Shania Matson at the Water Protector Welcome Center. Being in person at one of the two sites where the tar sands pipeline will cross under the river was an important reminder of the urgency of Enbridge's construction that is happening and of the importance that water holds. At this site, we learned about different ways that people are taking direct action to intervene in a system to enact change. This can be things such as tree sitting, lockdown, divestment, occupation, or property destruction.
At Spring Farm Sanctuary, we encountered ideas from David Pello about total liberation, which is the idea that the liberation of the human and more than human world are tied together.
We spent the day restoring part of the Mississippi River Gorge with Carolyn Carr and Alex Roth and discussed the tensions between ecological restoration and environmental justice as it relates to politics of place.
Dee Safmary, Noah Wilkerson, and Patsy Parker guided us through the ups and downs of urban farming in North Minneapolis. from the inequities of our food system to the labor of love that goes into urban farming. And as Steve says, you shouldn't have to pay a premium for produce.
In the internship course, students gain career and organizing skills, strengthen networks, and make valuable contributions to the environmental justice movement through their labor. We want to thank all the mentors from Tamales y Bicicletas, Environmental Initiative, Lily Springs Farm, Growing North Minneapolis, Minnesota Representative Frank Hornstein, the Women's Environmental Institute, and Min 350 for partnering with us. We're so grateful for all the community faculty who taught both in person and on Zoom. Thank you.
Ooh. Thanks, y'all. That was awesome. Let's give it up again for Michelle and the environmental justice cohort.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Woo. Next, we will hear from the Art for Social Change cohort. Here are the students and their internship sites again. Now I will invite Program Director Marcus Young to introduce his class.
Hi, everybody. We're going to try to spotlight all of the students that are with us. So I will introduce them and then pass it on for a little interactive moment with you all. So we are Art for Social Change. We are Zoe and Morgan and Jean and Amber and Anna and Megan and Annie is at work, but still with us. And again, myself, Marcus. Among many things, this semester we studied how artists help close down a supermax prison in Southern Illinois, learning that, quote, artists are accustomed to attempting the impossible. we met local artist Ricardo Levins Morales, who said, art is a bag of herbs, medicine, and his art is organizing. We learned from Ellie Sullivan of Lily Springs Farms that, like mycelium and maple syrup, art is an exploratory, irregular tendency. Art distills the sweetness. Now we want to invite you to do something with us. We have learned the importance of participation and the importance of playing with form, including the Zoom form. So with that, I turn it over to Zoe.
Hi, everyone. So you might have noticed some of us have some virtual backgrounds up. Our class has compiled some images of our artwork, and we would love it if you would join us in selecting one to use as your virtual background. I'll walk everybody through the process, and I'm also going to put some instructions in the chat for everyone. All right. This is totally optional, and if you don't want to use one of ours, feel free to select an image of your own to use. Let's see how many people we can get to have a virtual background behind them. Okay, so there should be a link that I just sent to the chat, and if you click on it, it's going to take you to a folder where you can select an image to download. And then once you've done that, you can find the video icon that's in the bottom left corner of your screen. And there's a drop-down arrow by the icon, and you're going to click on that and select Choose Virtual Background. And that's going to kind of bring you to a screen that has like some rectangles on it. You're going to go to the right-hand side, click on the plus icon, and then choose your image. And then after it's been uploaded as a virtual background, you can select it as your image for your virtual background. And any questions you can either put in the chat or just shout out directly.
I see. Ooh, that was really loud. I see some people doing it. It looks awesome.
And if it's not going to work for you because of technological issues, totally fine. It's optional. I'm just going to give everyone like 1 more minute just to try it out.
We know this could be a little bit of a messy moment, so this is a good time to breathe through it, try your best, join us with the backgrounds if you can, but it's totally optional. And yeah, just to be even more in the same space together if we can.
Mm-hmm.
As I said, like mycelium, art is an exploratory, irregular tendency. How are we doing?
I'm seeing some backgrounds up. It's looking good.
Yeah, well, sometimes the background and your face kind of become one. And you kind of become a part of your own background at that point.
And you want to make sure that it's not on like the green screen kind of option. If you just like put a virtual background on, it usually tends to work a little better.
And in a moment here, we want to take a selfie with everybody, if that's okay. You can be off camera if you don't care to be in the selfie. And you can also keep playing with uploading and changing your virtual background throughout the rest of this presentation. Okay.
All right, smiles on 3. 1, 2, 3. Love it. Let's do one more. We'll get all the panels in. 1, 2. Art for social change. Great, thanks everyone.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Zoe. So now, Art for Social Change, we will change our background to our River of Life background. And I'm going to turn it over to Amber to present this next section. And also, Anna, will you please read Megan's section?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. It's good to see some of you again, and good to see some of you for the first time in this space. So we are Art for Social Change 2021, and we are here to present to you a culmination of events and experiences through poetry. So what we decided to do was call back to the first assignment that we did, which was, what is your river of life? And we were allowed to, or encouraged to, present how we viewed our river of life and how we got to HECUA through visual art or poetry or stitching, however it moved through us. And that was the first thing we did to get to know each other. And we thought it would be wonderful and a great way to mark this semester if we recalled back to that assignment and kind of talked about where we are now, where our river of life is and how it has changed since this semester. So we asked each person of the cohort to write a section of poetry under the prompt, where is your river of life and where will it be headed after HECUA? And we stitched them together to create a mass poem that we are going to share with you. So this is Art for Social Change, River of Life, 2021.
How do you go back when everything has changed? When the fibers of togetherness are woven thicker and warmer than before? How do you return to a world not ready for the warmth and fullness of our collective hearts? We come together to demand justice by reaching the brain through art, challenging our minds through the feelings in our hearts.
Look at the world, from the water droplet on a leaf to the sunshine on your skin. Behold the morning, filled with opportunity. Embrace these moments. Look at the world earnestly, honestly, tenderly.
For as long as we live, the future can be bright. The sun will shine each day we wake.
I feel warmer, maybe softer than before, shifted by warm hands that have planted seeds in the soil of my heart.
The nature of life is to grow. We come together to demand justice by reaching the brain through art, challenging our minds through the feelings in our hearts.
I come from the seafaring people of Northern Europe, a people that worshipped gods of stone, thunder, and rolling tides, a people who told stories, honored their ancestors, and gave shelter to strangers. My people, both colonized and colonizer, committed horrific acts of genocide on a land that was not their own. My ancestors' ledger is soaked in blood, and while I am not them, they are a part of my lineage. Their blood is the blood that runs through my veins. They are the reason I am. As a good ancestor, it is my responsibility to honor the land I walk upon and the people and spirits that inhabit it, to be there with my indigenous neighbors protecting our land, water, and air, to support land back initiatives and the honoring of native treaties, and to uplift the stories of those who have been kept silent.
We come together to demand justice by reaching the brain through art, challenging our minds through the feelings in our hearts.
Dancing in protest, I sense soul in my body. Breathing in, breathing out, I feel purpose and calm. Enormous and low, right and flowing, moving like deep air and deep water, I gather by not taking away.
How wonderful that our rivers have met, mixing and mingling, dancing with each other, giving and receiving in the most natural of ways.
We come together to demand justice by reaching the brain through art, challenging our minds through the feelings in our hearts. Elevate the voices, let the sun shine in. We must strive to improve, start from within.
Grow,
Unlearn,
Nourish,
Relearn,
Connect,
honor,
Flourish.
Hope you liked it. Thanks, Art for Social Change.
Beautiful.
largely inspired by Julia Dinsmore, who's here.
Thank y'all for gifting us with that beautiful, beautiful poetry. Next, we will hear from Inequality in America. I will give a moment for the slide to get pulled back up. All right, cool. So here are the students and their internship sites. We'll give a moment to look over these. All right. Now let's check out their video, which was filmed during their time at Lily Springs Farm earlier this week.
Hi, my name's Anna, and this semester my internship was at Homeline, which is a tenant advocacy group.
My name is and this semester I interned with CETUL, or Center for Workers United in Struggle.
Hi, my name is Emily. This semester I interned at Outfront MN, which is an LGBTQ+ rights organization.
Hi, my name is Nina, and this semester I interned at Infinitas Unidas, or Renters United for Justice, focusing on organizing tenants.
Hi, I'm Laurel. I interned at All Parks Alliance for Change, and we advocate for manufactured home rights.
So what skills do you guys feel you gained this semester at your internship? Anything you picked up along the way?
I think a big skill I learned this semester was learning how to advocate for myself and ask for more when I needed it, and also how to say no when I didn't have the capacity to complete another project.
Yeah, I think a lot of us felt kind of like we were thrown into issue areas that we didn't know a lot about. So a lot of us were feeling kind of uncomfortable at the beginning of our internships. But like you said, Emily, like it was really important for us to advocate for ourselves and ask for help when we needed it, because we didn't really know what we were doing at first. So that's really important.
For sure. Yeah, and I think a lot of us had an experience of gaining that confidence through having a very supportive work environment. All of the internship sites we interned for have really close relationships to the HECUA program and are very community based and centered. So it was a lot more about what we needed and our experience and how we wanted to contribute rather than just getting work done. So more process than result oriented.
Personally, I learned a lot about media, social media, and then just media outlets in general, and how it pertains to organizing and like the most effective ways to use it, and how delicate it can be to be in that type of work.
You know, one thing that I really learned is how kind of cities and governments value land over the actual residents and homes, which at APEC can mean that manufactured homeowners are more likely to get evicted due to redevelopment goals by the cities.
Yeah, I think a lot of us were really surprised at how unjust the housing system is, those of us that were working in housing as an issue area.
I also found out, and this I think goes for all nonprofits, is that creativity is very important, and thinking outside of the box and coming up with new ideas is always welcomed.
Hi, my name's Anna, and this semester my internship was at Homeline, which is a tenant you could still learn, or has this inspired you in any way to keep learning about your internship in that issue area in the future?
I feel like a big part of this is that all of this work is extremely ongoing, and if even a certain project finishes, there's always more work than what was just done to do, especially in our current housing, especially in the housing crisis Minneapolis is facing right now. So I think a lot of us, no matter what internship we worked on, had to deal with the consequences of the housing crisis in one way, shape, or form, because that is a basic need people have.
I'm Erin Kilgore, and I interned at the Minneapolis Regional Labor Federation.
Hi, I'm Hunter. I interned with Eastside Freedom Library Housing Justice Program.
Hi, my name's Ying, and I internship at the Council for American Islamic Relations.
I just want to know, who out of all of the speakers, out of all the field experiences that we had, who was the most impactful to you and why?
For me, I think our first speaker, Ramona Keto Stately, she kind of set the tone for this semester, just showing us like all the hardship of the Dakota people, and then even in that, showing that there's still positive that can be drawn from that.
So there's two people for me that were extremely impactful this semester, one being Amina from TPT as well as Daniel. Those two individuals spoke, Amina specifically on mental health for me, and allowed me to do a lot of my writing around this semester, and also Daniel very tied in with Jim Crow of the North and was also foundational with my understanding of housing justice. And those are the two people that had an amazing impact on me this semester.
For me, it was Mel Reeves and Kevin Reese. They came in, they're organizers in Minneapolis. They both talked about their connection to policing, accountability, and the Black community, and really opened up a foundational learning experience for me when it comes to the on-the-ground work with the accountability in policing and the violence that happens in Black communities by police.
In addition to some of our impactful speakers and field experience this semester, some of the conversations and discussions we've had just within our cohort with IA have been extremely foundational in some of my learning.
The most impactful debriefing session I think that I have experienced all semester was we went to Sweetie Pie Farms, where we, as a cohort, we separated plants and were planting together, and I think it was a nice time to not only bond but talk about the information that we had learned about the planting earlier that day.
So, what would you guys say are some of your biggest takeaways from this experience, or what the essence of this experience would be for you?
I would say that mine is understanding the importance of vulnerability and creating space.
I would say the flexibility and adaptability of this program to incorporate the difficult times everyone was going through and putting it into practice in a safe space.
My experience with HECUA was sort of like a breath of fresh air. It was a nice change of pace to be in a learning community that actually acknowledges what's happening in the community around us to its fullest extent.
I feel that I learned the value of an immersive education, so the combination of the field, internship, and class experience really led to a greater learning experience for me.
I would say the importance of building community.
I would say learning about very different perspectives and worldviews about various topics definitely opened my eyes.
I enjoyed creating real long-lasting relationships with people in my class and outside of the community.
For me, it was breaking down a lot of the language barriers that I think I faced, and also like building each other up and building a foundation that is our IA program.
We also want to give some shout outs to people, so thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Ariana.
Thank you, Julia and Marie Shante as well.
And Rachel and Mohammed.
And Rachel Mohammed. So much love for y'all. Thank you so much, Inequality in America cohort. Let's continue to show them some love. All right, so finally, we will hear from our Making Media, Making Change cohort. Here is our small but mighty cohort and their internship sites. The students have each produced 3 films throughout this semester. And today, sorry, I'll give a more moment to appreciate these students and their internship sites. Yes. Yeah, shout out to these awesome HECUA partners, all of our awesome HECUA partners. So throughout this semester, these students have produced 3 films each, and today they are going to share their final group project, which Carter will now introduce.
Hi, everybody. So as Maya mentioned, we started off our year with the first of our 3 films. It was A Story of Self, a film about identity. Then we did A Story of Now, which was a film about a problem in our community or a cause that we were passionate about. And then today we'll be sharing with you our third of 3 films, The Story of Us, which is a film about our connection as a community, both as our class and our HECUA community, but also in the larger sense of the word. And so our prompt, or the question that we decided to guide us through this film, was the question, what nourishes us? Because we feel like that's so important to community building and to everything that we stand by through our making media, making change. So what you're going to see is a collection of each of our takes on what nourishes us, all tied together. Hope y'all enjoy.
Now the display that you can hear around the world and you around the world on the photograph. I'm not charging you anything. I'll take you on the steamer and cannot steamer to Liverpool and from Liverpool to London, from London on the London and Brighton Railroad to Brighton. And from Brighton you go on those little 2-cent steamers across the Channel to Calais. And from Calais we will go on to Calais to Coeur de North. I can't give you the exact position pronunciation of this railroad, but I guess you understand. We'll give you some values and names for the Grand Hotel. Then in the morning we'll go to our banking, keep money on our letters of credit. Then we'll go and sail on ferry for about 2 weeks, go to Berlin. After we've stayed about 2-3 days in Berlin and got the blues, we'll go to St. Petersburg. And St. Petersburg will go to Moscow, and from Moscow back from the same route to Berlin. And from Berlin we'll go to Vienna, and from Vienna to Budapest. The Hungary. And then we will go to Monte Carlo. But we will not go to Monte Carlo, we'll go to Munich, or Munich. Let's call it Munich. That's not a very nice name. I like to call it Munich. Well, then, Munich go to Milan, and then you can go to Rome. Rome will go across the Mediterranean. I don't know, but when I'm a little out of my geography, we go to Alexandria. Alexandria through the Suez Canal to the Red Sea, the Bay of Bengal, and then to Bombay. Bombay, we probably get the colony and stay in the hospital too much and have lots of fun. And then we go to Calcutta. Calcutta to Singapore on the Raleigh Archipelago. Then to Hong Kong. Hong Kong to Tokyo. Tokyo on the Pacific Mail Ship Company to San Francisco. San Francisco to Ogden. Ogden to Laramie. Laramie to Cheyenne. Cheyenne to Omaha. the plane wants to say a few words on it.
The question, what nourishes me, is not one with a single answer. I am nourished by good cups of coffee, conversation with close friends, time alone outdoors, walking through my neighborhood. I'm nourished by a really good book. I'm nourished by all the little moments in my life, and by the act of recognizing them. The collection of little moments that are important to me creates some sort of ecosystem. I find new passions and make new friends, and that ecosystem grows. And I take great pleasure in that. I love the feeling of love, and the ways that I can learn to cultivate it. I love talking about the things that excite me, and listening to others do the same. I'm nourished by the thoughts that I can control, the ways that I can dig deeper into my own curiosity and find new and exciting aspects to my life. I feel fulfilled when I'm able to plan something perfectly, whether it be just one day or a whole trip with my loved ones. I'm nourished by the opportunities I'm given. When it comes down to it, I'm in love with life, and by recognizing and declaring that, I fall deeper into that love. There are certainly times I forget this, or when I'm unable to remember that there are things for me to love about myself. My curiosity, understanding, and perspective. Those two require practice to get right. I'm thankful for my many mentors and role models that have helped coach me through those moments of unsureness, and I'm nourished by their love and attention too. I'm nourished from the heart and its willingness to give.
It feels good to get groceries. It feels good to have a couple dollars in your pocket. It isn't wrong to want comfort. I bought a new hat last week, and I would be lying if I said it didn't excite the absolute hell out of me. And I guess you could call possessions distractions, but food is a basic need. Onions and garlic on the stove. Everyone deserves this feeling. And you can't tell me this is how it's supposed to be, but I'll take what's comfy. Humans haven't lived this way for that long, and there must be some other way. I argue that it's food. Onions and garlic on the stove. It's been 1.5 years. It feels so good to get groceries. So fucking good. Humans haven't really lived this way for that long. Oh shit. Thank you, Mom, and thank you, Dad. And thank you, brother. Onions and garlic on the stove.
Oh my god, that looks sick as fuck, bro.
Okay, Connor. It's a real simple question. Just gotta answer what nourishes you. You know, it basically means what relaxes you. Shouldn't be that hard. You can answer that. Seems easy. Okay, just gotta brainstorm a little bit. Maybe I can try something somebody else might be doing. Maybe skateboarding's my thing. Let's give that a shot. So here I am, doing everything I can. Okay, that did not work at all. Maybe I need to do some self-reflection, you know, find myself with some poetry. That could be fun. Blue skies, blue waters, blue shoes, blue trees. All right, not blue trees, but blue's clues. Deep. Well, I thought I was a poet. Turns out I'm just really bad at it. Guess I can try that one thing. Okay, so I'm not a great writer. Well, I cooked for a long time. Maybe cooking can be my thing. Hey guys, welcome back to Cooking with Connor. Today I'll be showing you how to chop your very own cucumber. What you're going to need is a knife and also a cucumber. As you can see, I have them already laid out right here. Now, first thing you want to do is that you want to pick up your knife and then you want to grab the cucumber and start slicing, just like I'm doing right now. Now, you're going to want those slices to be nice and round. So the way you're going to do that is by turning them not into squares. And once you're done, then you're done, because it's slicing a cucumber. There you go. See, that's all it is. Get rid of it. And okay, that's it. Goodbye. All right. Let's try music. That could work. It's probably not going to work, is it? No, this isn't going to work. All right, just get it over with. Do I just not have a thing? Damn, that's pretty tragic. I can't think of anything that like that really just brings me nourishment. That's a weird way to say it. I guess kind of like I could just eat an apple, but you know, it's not. That's not the point. There's got to be something for me. Come on, just gotta think. Just gotta think. Just gotta think. Just gotta think. Just gotta think.
Ah, I like making videos. Sweet. Cool, that's it. That's it. All right, I'm done. Doing everything I can, holding on to what I am.
Those videos gave me nourishment. What amazing work y'all have done this semester. Let's take a moment to share some feedback in the chat. And before we move on, the Making Media students would like to give a few quick shout outs.
Wait, is this for the students to give shout outs? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just want to give a huge shout out to my internship supervisors. I worked with Jake and Isaac and Deanna from MPLS all semester, and I had a super, super good time, and they were super affirming and kind, and this semester was a really, really good one. So thank you to HECUA too, and Rachel Jolie and Jua and Rachel SM and Lisa and everyone that I talked to. It was a wonderful experience. Thank you so much.
For sure, shout out to Ellie and everybody at Lily Springs. Shout out to SPNN and of course Rachel and Jua made our semester so special.
To echo that, shout out to Rachel and Jua again, and my supervisors at SPNN, Bonnie, Jackie, and Michael. Thank you so much.
I also want to give a quick shout out to everybody at HECUA, CTEP, Lizzie for helping me and Sebastian, this entire year, and Rachel and Jua, and also, yeah, everybody.
Shout out to the students, of course. Love you all so much. And thanks to my colleagues at HECUA. Sorry, I just jumped in. I hope I can, I hope I got to do that. Thanks, everybody.
Thank y'all so much. I always enjoy sharing space with all of y'all. You're amazing. As we are moving towards the close of this community gathering, we have a closing message from Mohammed Salam, HECUA's Director of Programs and this spring's Program Director for Inequality in America.
Hello, everybody. I'm Mohammed Salam, HECUA's Director of Programs. Thank you for joining us today at our Spring 21 HECUA Community Celebration. I welcome you from Lily Springs Farms, one of our beloved community partners of primarily the environmental justice program, but also all HECUA programs. I want to spend a moment here to thank you as we wind down another wonderful semester of incredible programming, transformative programming for our students. A special shout out to our program directors for their incredible work organizing and designing some incredible experiences for their students. Our community partners, who we can't do this work without. You make it possible for our students to have transformative experiences through your engagement, your facilitation, and your investment of time, energy, and effort in our students and in this learning community more broadly. I want to give a special shout out and thanks to our community, our university partners. The consortium members of HECUA are incredible, and your partnership to make it possible for students to participate in these programs is incredible. And I'm just so thankful to have this incredible network of colleagues to work with, and it's just a real delight. As we wind down this semester, it's been a special semester for me as well. I've gotten to step in another unique role in my time at HECUA as the interim program director for the Inequality in America program. It's been an incredible semester with our 10 students, this wonderful learning community with the support of Rachel Svan Moynihan and Jill Dismore, our community faculty, and Marie Chante. I just wanted to offer those special shout outs because this semester has meant so much to me, and I'm just so glad and happy that each and every one of you have been able to join us today as we wind down yet another incredible HECUA semester. If you're looking for ways to continue to support HECUA students, I want to encourage you to visit our website. For HECUA students, future HECUA students, if you want to be involved in what we do here, I want to encourage you to visit our website, reach out to us directly. Again, thanks so much and have a wonderful summer.
Thank you, Mohammed. We're so grateful for you. Well, friends, we are close to the end of our time together. We have two quick things to help bring meaningful closure to this morning. A moment of gratitude and applause, and then a goodbye ritual. So first, feel free to switch back to gallery view for this portion. Now let's all unmute and take a few moments to make some noise and show some movement. Just do whatever you want to express your appreciation for all of these beautiful folks.
Oh, I love you. Circles, relationships. Oh, how lovely.
Thank you, Julia.
Thank you, Julia.
I love you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Gus.
Here's Hilda.
Wow.
Amazing
Are really
work.
done making noise so quick?
Awesome semester.
All right. Maybe we should do one more noise. Come on. Woo! Come on.
Thank you so much.
Adeline, how are you doing? Hey, I heard that. Thanks, Adeline. Hi, Cinda. Hi, Elise.
All right, folks. For our goodbye ritual, I'm going to pass the mic to our Art for Social Change program director, Marcus Young. And before I do, as your host, I'd like to say thank you so much for joining us this morning, and thank you so much for having me as a host. It's been a privilege to be in this space with all of you, and it's been a privilege to be able to come back to the HECUA community. I love y'all so much.
We love you too.
Thank you, Maya. Let's give some love to Maya. Yeah.
Yes,
Thank
Maya.
you, Maya. Yes. Yes. Oh, yes.
Maya.
Yeah.
Great job. Great job hosting. Thank you for being our guide today, Maya. So at Art for Social Change, after a long day of class, we say goodbye. This is the way we say goodbye to each other. You know, at the end of a Zoom thing, you push the red button and you kind of go into a little bit of shock because it's such a dramatic